Hello and welcome to our evening edition. Following a national dialogue between the President of the Republic and Djiboutian youth, the President of the Republic, together with the State Secretary of Youth and Sports, organized the final stage of the national dialogue with Djiboutian youth at the event hall in the capital's Corniche. During this meeting, one of the participants asked a question about education and higher education, especially about the problems he faced after receiving his bachelor degree during their registration in their first year at the university. He said that we chose the man that was not chosen by the student after obtaining the high school diploma. In response to this question, the Ministry of Higher Education and Scientific Research said that the University of Djibouti has witnessed a remarkable development and provided opportunities for the student to achieve his educational career and get a bachelor's degree. A few years ago, here the students choose, he said, a private college and they do not have the required level to join the college. And we have created a committee that directs the student according to the grades obtained by the student. If the student does not agree with this approach, he has a second chance to choose from the subject he wishes at the university according to his first three choices, which is abilities, skills, and college that suits him. The Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, on Thursday chaired a ministerial meeting at the Arab League headquarters in Cairo to discuss the latest developments in the United States' recognition of Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. In his opening speech, Djiboutian Foreign Minister Mahmoud Ali Yusuf stressed that the United States' decision on Al-Quds al-Sharif violates all international resolutions and contradicts international law and United Nations resolutions. He called on the Arab League Council at the ministerial level to shoulder the historical responsibility for his unprecedented challenge, which threatens the existence of the Palestinian people and their holy sites, especially Al-Aqsa Mosque. In this regard, the ministers fully supported the struggle of the Palestinian people to establish their independent state on the 1967 borders with Jerusalem as its capital in accordance with international law and relevant resolutions. Coming back to the national news, the Minister of Defense in charge of relations with the Parliament received this morning at his office the new Japanese ambassador, Mr. Koichi Unitani. They held an important meeting during which they discussed the existing cooperation and the bilateral relations between the two friendly countries and means of strengthening and developing it to a wider horizon. The new diplomat Koichi expressed his warm thanks to the Djiboutian government in general and the defense minister for his warm welcome and described the Djibouti-Japan cooperation as fruitful. He commended the work of his predecessor, Mr. Tatsuo Rey, pledging to continue his efforts to support Djibouti's efforts in economic development, training, and agricultural development. He highlighted the economic development in bilateral projects that are being implemented in the country with the cooperation of both countries. The Minister of Health, Dr. Jama Al-Milki, received in his office a delegation from the World Bank led by its representative in Djibouti, Mr. Tatsuo Rey, as a part of his working The working meeting was held in the presence of Inspector General Dr. Ali Salah Bouneta and the World Bank representative Mr. Atusek, in addition to the directors of health institutions and centers. During the meeting, discussions focused on the review of projects funded by the World Bank through various cross-cutting programs implemented by the Ministry of Health of the Republic of Djibouti. Health Minister took this opportunity to thank the World Bank and the United Nations Financing Agency for the necessary technical and financial support to the Ministry of Health in its mission to strengthen the health system in the country. Continuing with the national news, the Minister of Women and Family, Mrs. Moumina Ahmed Hassan, accompanied by a delegation from her department and the Minister of Transport, toured the area of Dekhil and its sub-districts. In this framework, the Minister and her accompanying delegation went to the Kotaboya district of the region. Upon their arrival, the delegation was welcomed by the Prefect of the region, Mohamed Sheiko, and the President of the Regional Council, Abdurrahman Yunis. as well as the Sultan Kubat. The minister held a meeting with the women of this area. During the meeting, several issues related to the women were discussed in order to implement projects aimed at improving the lives of rural women, focusing on economic and social empowerment and improving the effective participation of women in rural areas in decisions and procedures critical in various areas. In his speech, the Minister of Transport said that today we are in this area to look at the problems that a rural person is suffering from, to contribute to the development process in the country and to participate in the overall executive decisions that are taking place in the country, which the government has given to the Djiboutian women. And for her part, the Minister of Women and Family stressed the importance of the projects carried out by her ministry aimed at improving the lives of rural women, as well as the readiness of her department to provide all essential necessities. And to close up this edition within the framework of enhancing cooperation between RTD region and Herat province in the Federal Republic of Ethiopia, the Ethiopian ambassador paid a working visit to RTD province. The Ethiopian ambassador, on his arrival to the region, and the governor of RTD region was received by the Ethiopian ambassador to Djibouti, Abdul Darar. During the visit, the Ethiopian ambassador discussed with the regional authorities ways to strengthen cooperation relations between the region, especially in the field of tourism and development. The occasion falls within the framework of regional integration efforts between two countries, and the two countries have strong ties in all fields. It is here we close this edition. Thank you for joining me, guys, on RTD channel, and have a good night.